A Roman blacksmith in the 3rd century. A Berlin plumber in 1923. A Cuban mechanic in 1993. An Argentine electrician in 2001. Different empires. Different currencies. Different technologies. Same outcome: when everything else broke, these people still worked. That matters now, because for the first time in modern history, millions of workers are being told two opposite things at once. 1. The economy is unstable. 2. Artificial intelligence can now do the thinking part of their job. So the real question is no longer which jobs pay the most in calm times. It's which jobs remain necessary when both software and institutions start eating the middle. The answer is not manual labor in general. It is 6 much narrower roles. The first is repair of physical systems. Not blue-collar work as a vague category. Physical diagnosis and repair. Pipes. Wiring. Refrigeration, engines. Roof leaks. Pumps. Locks. The work where the problem exists in one place, in one object, under messy real-world conditions. The historical pattern is unusually stable. During hyperinflation in Weimar Germany, during the Soviet collapse, during Argentina's default, people stopped buying new things long before they stopped needing old things to function. The machine still had to run. The roof still had to hold. AI can write maintenance advice. It cannot crawl under your sink at 11 p.m. and discover that the leak is not where the diagram said it would be. The second role survives for almost the opposite reason. The second is care work that depends on trust, judgment, and physical presence. Elder care. Child care. Basic nursing support. Midwifery. Home health assistance. Not because machines will never enter these fields. They already are. But because the job is not just information transfer. It is embodied responsibility. History keeps rediscovering this during stress. In wartime cities, in collapsed health systems, in poor regions where formal medicine thins out, the people who remain indispensable are the ones who can calm, lift, observe, clean, recognize danger early, and be physically there. A chatbot can remind someone to take medication. It cannot become the person a frightened family trusts with their mother's body. The third role survived crises not because it was noble, but because it was local. The third is food production and food handling close to the point of use. Farmers, bakers, butchers, market growers, millers, cooks in systems where food scarcity sharpens and logistics weaken. When the Soviet Union dissolved, small household plots ended up producing a disproportionate share of actual food. In inflationary economies, local food sellers often outperform more sophisticated chains for one simple reason: hunger does not wait for optimization. AI can improve logistics. It can forecast demand. It can optimize routes. But if roads fail, fuel spikes, imports stall, or purchasing power collapses, value shifts toward whoever can still turn land, ingredients, heat, and labor into edible calories nearby. The fourth role survives because every broken society creates more of its raw material. The fourth is salvage, reuse, and resale. Scrap dealers. Rebuilders. Used parts sellers. Refurbishers. Resale traders. People who stand between breakdown and waste. This role appears over and over because crisis changes the meaning of old. In stable periods, old means obsolete. In unstable periods, old means available. Post-war Europe relied on reuse. Post-Soviet economies relied on informal resale. Recession economies always discover the same thing. When cash thins out, secondary markets stop being secondary. AI may help sort, price, and list inventory. But the work itself remains anchored in local supply, condition judgment, negotiation, transport, and the stubborn fact that one person's discarded object becomes another person's necessary tool. The fifth role survives not by making things, but by helping people cross the gap between systems. The fifth is translation between failing systems. Not only language translation. Much broader than that. Currency exchanges during monetary breakdown. Brokers who know both the formal and informal market. Caseworkers who can navigate bureaucracy for people who can't. Dispatchers. Fixers. Interpreters between institutions and reality. Every strained society produces this role. When rules multiply, when systems stop aligning, when the official process no longer matches what actually works, somebody has to help others move across the gap. That person becomes valuable because confusion itself becomes a market. AI can summarize rules. It struggles when the real answer is, yes, officially that's the rule, but in this district, on this week, with this office, here is what actually works. The sixth job is the oldest one on the list, and the easiest to underestimate. The sixth is security and conflict management at human scale. Not just police or military. Guards. Bouncers. Loss prevention. Site supervisors. People who can de-escalate tension, hold boundaries, protect goods, and make fast decisions when human behavior turns unpredictable. This role persists through every period of instability because disorder is never solved by information alone. It has to be managed in space, in time, among bodies. An AI system can flag risk. It cannot physically separate two men about to fight over fuel, food, or access. It cannot stand in a doorway when everyone else leaves. And once you see all six together, the pattern changes. These jobs are not protected because they are old-fashioned. They are protected because they sit where reality becomes physical, local, urgent, and irreversible. Repair. Care. Food. Reuse. Translation. Security. For 2,000 years, crises have changed governments, currencies, and technologies, but they have not changed what human beings need when pressure rises. Something fixed, someone trustworthy, something to eat, something usable, someone who can navigate the mess, and someone who can keep order for one more night. That is the pattern. The safest work in an age of AI is not the work that looks hardest to automate on paper. It is the work closest to necessity when paper stops mattering.